Hi guys, how are you guys doing? Guys, bakhuzeni. Bakhuzeni, 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 bakhuzeni. Angeke. Hayi angeke guys. No guys. No. No, these people are savvy. They're not scared, guys. Yo. Suppose not like what nonsense twerk was that? What nonsense was that, Nas? Hey Darren. Hey, voice of like honestly, guys, I'm so embarrassed. Not for the other people. I wanna check you. What is it that got high bosses? How guys, MJIYAKO was the ethics director, executive support, City of Johannesburg from April 2017 to December 2020. So you wanna tell me Untanzi had money to hire such a level person? Hello, Matt. How are you doing?
I'm good, and you? I'm good. I'm good.
I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm just shocked.
Shocked with the error, the system error.
Hi, Bo, guys. Hi, Bo.
This
Hi,
is
no.
this is
No, guys, need to have Tony.
this
Amahloni ayasiza, guys. No.
this is South Africa. You must wake up and smell the coffee. Everything is
Hi,
possible in South Africa.
hi. No.
No, everything is possible. Even the AVL, you are going to get them. Everything that you want, it's possible. So yeah, today you got your answer. What you were talking about, that FFC number doesn't belong to Miyako. Yes, doesn't belong to Miyako, and it belongs to someone else, and they have the answer. Don't underestimate these guys. Otherwise, you are going to be in trouble. Don't underestimate these four guys. They know what they are doing. It looks like they've been doing these things, so they know what to do.
Msibile
Even
better
the,
be on his A game.
even the witness, you can hear he's not comfortable, and those things are not written by him.
Two.
He's just reading. And you know what I like about these guys is all the state witnesses, when they come, is they come after got promotion. You know, you got promotion, then they motivate you before you come to testify. This is a South Africa.
No, this is embarrassing to say the least, guys. No.
No,
No,
they're
this is
seeing it
embarrassing, guys.
with a straight face. Noni, I watched your video with Njavs about Ntanzi, especially the confession.
Yes.
I heard him, but I have to say I don't agree with his version.
You'll be very
I
surprised with
don't.
more versions.
No, I think. Remember this guy, Advocate Tovejan or Tojan, the one that was with
Yes, I
Therefore.
remember.
He once said, allegedly, Gilinda said to him, "Please give me Ntanzi."
The question is why?
Because Ntanzi was too clean for them. So now that's why he said, "Give me this guy, so that I can, if I can have him, then the case is closed." So I don't think.
Let me
Yes.
tell you this, Marcel. Let me tell you this. You know, Yabona, the version that you do not like, the case will end. And when it ends, we will have the accused on this podcast. We will have the accused on this podcast, and you will hear the truth of everything that was happening in that court, and you will be shocked. You will be shocked. Believe me, you will be shocked.
Oh,
let me just tell you that.
Okay.
Ntanzi
Are you saying
did not kill Senzo. Ntanzi did not kill Senzo. Ntanzi and all of them, they have nothing to do with the death of Senzo. They all don't have anything to do with the death of Senzo.
Yes.
However, a lot of things happened behind the scenes for the 3, 4, and 5 to be there.
So, are you saying they are not going to be found guilty because
there's a lot of
what
things
you are
that will
saying?
disappoint. There's a lot of things that will come out and they will disappoint us.
But when you say they are going to come after this case is finished, because if the old man, the way he moves, it looks like he's ready to convict them. So where are you going to find them, man?
With what?
Are you giving us a scoop?
He's going to convict them with what? Which piece of evidence is he going to use to convict anybody? No DNA, no GPS, no AVL. Nothing links them to the murder. The weapon, nothing. What can he use? Never mind his attitude. What can he use?
Remember, he's saying with the DNA, he's saying the DNA is inconclusive.
You heard yourself? You heard yourself? He said, the court said inconclusive. What did the expert say? This is why I spoke with Noni the other day and I said this. The expert said, unless they're read into all 16 regions, they are excluded. That's what the expert said. The court said inconclusive. That's different. So the ruling has to be made on one and not the other. And you know he's going to say inconclusive. So when the appeal court hears the evidence, they can make a determination. So how are they going to be convicted? With what?
What I'm saying then, we know that these guys are innocent, and we know what the DNA says, right? But the way the judge is maneuvering, he always say, "Take me to appeal." You can take me to appeal when this case is going somewhere. You understand? Yeah. So I'm saying this thing because of what he's saying. I'm not saying they are guilty. They've done anything. No. I know that they've got nothing to do with the case. The issue here is the judge. After hearing that head that says it was left by the intruder, and the DNA says they are not included. They are excluded from the case. No, why are we still continuing with the trial?
I'm
The
with you
other
100%.
thing is,
Yeah.
the other thing is, the Vodacom expert she's telling us that during the time of the power.
Hello?
I'm still here. I'm listening.
All right. Let me say something real quick. I'll stop when he comes back. He probably just a small
Yes.
disconnect. But I'm with him 100% on that. Of course. Um this trial should have been over. It should have been a complete what do you call that? A dismissal or whatnot, a set aside or whatever, right? It should have been completely. But he's still he's go he's taking us through the distance for the state's benefit and only for the state's benefit. But again, we have to be realistic um and objective too. What is he going to use? Even if my heart and my brain fully believes that he's going to try to, even if he does, is he's going to lose, because at the end of the day, you have to follow the evidence, you have to follow the facts. You can't just keep hearing people say facts, say, oh, these are the facts, we have the facts. But then when we look at the facts, every expert is 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 saying basically you can't convict these people. So, you know, I'm with Mass 100%. You know, the judge is conflicted, and guess what? It's gonna prove. It's gonna prove, because every instance he just makes it look worse and worse and worse for himself. He's older, he's retired, he's had the most high profile cases already, and look how the way he behaves like a child on that stand. You see, so I was gonna say something else about him too, but yeah, there's nothing there. You have to be objective in that sense to say he's not just gonna say, well, there's no technicality. Pick one, you know. Yeah.
Okay,
You know
yes,
what, for me,
then.
guys, what is frustrating for me then is that right now it's either these guys are dealing with the IT. So are they try what you know what? I want IT people to come. Can a system come and duplicate numbers? Is it not supposed to give an error when different people are getting the same numbers? Is it
Well,
not supposed to do that? Oh, I need
if the
Jabulo.
defense
I can't find him.
if the defense has that type of appetite, then they could look for somebody to go look for historical data on that. It's a website. What do they call it? The portal or something like that. There's definitely, there's historical data there that they can do, to find out and look at that actual application process. Because of course they're gonna find that they're lying. You see, they don't think as far as ahead of their excuses. You know, they just shoot out whatever, and they're capable of getting their hands on whoever they can, but they don't think too far ahead, because if the defense has the type of appetite to get an IT tech to go and look in, with a court order, and go and look into, historical data on whatever LPC portal or whatever they had to do, yeah, why not?
Uh, also, what
Yes.
scares me now is the fact that um, I don't think our defense will do more research, especially on these outcomes.
Mm,
But with regard to the issue of duplication,
mm,
I think we should check when did that schools applied
Yeah.
and MJIYAKO. If they applied on the very same day, and what time and what was happening, maybe network, whatever it is. But if they applied on the very same day and the process was done maybe around the very same time, maybe. But I think we should go there.
Do you remember when people were busy checking for the FFC number? Someone showed that the LPC system shows previous 5 FFC numbers, which means on the system, MJIYAKO must have 3, right? Or 2 for 2020 and 1 for 2021. Even if you fix something, trace must remain for whatever he had before. So how come then only in 2024 it is discovered? It's not even discovered. It is Mrs. or Miss Scholes that is sending an email complaining about MJIYAKO using her FFC number. So what is that supposed to mean about the entire situation?
Right.
Because Miss Scholes called them after hearing the outcry from the public and say, this guy has been he used my FSC number, and what is happening? Then they started correcting.
Did they mention a date of when Miss Schultz, when Advocate Schultz had submitted her complaint, or did they just say she did the complaint?
It was in 2024, though. I don't know when.
Okay, well, the point is, she did it because she had legitimate reason. See, she's not like us on the outside looking and speculating what happened. She knows that it was no typo and it's deliberate. She's more knowledge than us in that area of FFC numbers and what they can do. And she knows that, that it's basically identity theft, stolen identity or whatever. And I'm not sure she made any criminal or civil complaint or anything like that. But I think she made the complaint to the organization. She did it for a reason. So I think the defense is going to call her, and then she's going to try to quell any doubts of any typo. She's going to say, no, it was deliberate. She might have her own story, her own little piece to add to it. So, but, yeah. And this guy who's on the stand now, I think it may be well, I don't know, the judge is allowing it, but, what did they say? He's not a practicing attorney or advocate. Right. So he's trying to legitimize an LPC member, and he's not a full one himself, I guess, right? Or something like that. Yeah.
No, this one is just saying I got promoted, so I must come and lie. He's lying. That is the identity theft.
I just got one
There's
last
no way they can hide it.
Question, and then I'll go to the background. What was they saying about SARS? I seen people saying in the chat about SARS. What came out about SARS and MJIYAKO? Well, I guess nothing.
I've got no idea about that.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe okay. All right, never mind then. There's people just talking in the chat then.
Okay. Hi, Noni. Hi, Jen.
Thank you.
How are you? Hello.
Hi.
What I think is this.
Hello?
They need to establish.
Don't worry. What's up, bro?
They need to establish, number one.
Oh, you're muted. Unmute,
Me?
bro.
No, I can hear you.
No,
you can hear him?
Yes, I'm audible.
Oh, I can't. Okay, I can't hear him.
Okay. Now, what's happening now is that this guy was not a qualified lawyer, an attorney, by the time he was involved in the case by Ntanzi's case. You understand? It is on record that at that time when he was representing Ntanzi, he was working for City of Joburg. You understand? As a legal advisor, he was studying law, but he had not yet qualified to be an attorney. So that he, at that particular time, there was no way he was going to have an whatever FC number assigned to him. That's number one. Number two, they're stating that he was admitted as an attorney in 2012. You understand? Then it means, when did he graduate? You understand? When did he get his law? Started getting this LLB? Because when Jabs was explaining, he said even if you have different numbers or if they change, in the system, that number is supposed to be there. There's supposed to be a record. And then that company, MJIYAKO, what, it was not registered with the LPC. You understand? That is why when they search for it, they don't find it because it was non-existent. But if you search the name, it will now start to show you that, I think he qualified to be a lawyer, I think maybe in 2024 or so. You understand? It's like, actually it's a problem, And also, that guy is lying. And I don't think he's qualified to come and answer. Because if Munisi ask him both questions, that guy will not be able to answer. They will ask him, when did he graduate? Because if you're saying you're the one who accepts, it means that you've got the certificates. You understand?
Yes.
You've got the records. So then if you ask you, what are the records? What do the records say? You understand?
Yeah.
And in this case, those records are not available. You understand? So as a result, they should have those numbers. You see? They should have, because he was not a lawyer. Because he was saying that if you are a lawyer, you even submit your financials, your financial report, which means all there's a record of all clients that you are getting, clients that you are with. You understand what I'm saying? So as a result, there's a record. So then they should ask, how much was he paid for the services that he wanted to offer in terms, and how much is he charged? Because the letter that was written that I am withdrawing my service because I was never paid. So what letter was being addressed to whom? You understand? At the end of the day, it was addressed to what? To who? You understand?
Yeah.
Who hired Chance? MJIYAKO on behalf of what? Of Chance. Right. You understand? So I think those are some of the anomalies that they need to attack. One, he was not a lawyer, he was not qualified. And in the day in question, he was at work. A state of Johannesburg. Because that was the day when he was given laptops and everything. It's there on record at the COG, state of Joburg. So how was he able to be at state of Joburg and then at the same time at Boksburg? You understand?
So, my issue here, man. My issue is our defense. Will they be able to pull through all the evidence that we are talking about on social media? Because for me, it looks like they accept everything that the defense are giving and start attacking. They are not doing their own research. No. Because there are so many things that we are talking about on social media, like here on YouTube, but you find that for them, they only accept what Malo is giving them. And I think he's taking advantage of the fact that these guys are lazy or are not let me not say lazy, but are not doing their research. They are not peeped in as far as finding more information about this case or what is it that is out there. So they only get information. If you can check the witness today, it's the same witness that was testifying about the red gold. You ask yourself, why are you testifying about the red gold? Because Longa is still alive. Why can't you call Longa or the owner of the car? Even today, MJIYAKO is still alive.
Look at it like
Scholes is still alive. Why don't we call those two people to come and speak
Look at it like this.
on these discrepancies, then you call the LPC after they testified.
No. You need to understand one thing. What Jabs says, Jabs knows MJIYAKO. He said MJIYAKO cannot lie about the FSC number. MJIYAKO was not there. That is why they cannot bring him there. Because if he comes, because he's a fully fledged advocate by now, he cannot come and lie and put his profession in jeopardy. That is why they are not calling him MJIYAKO. This is something that they're not killing. They know exactly that MJIYAKO, if he comes, he is going to expose them. Do you understand? So they're not going to call MJIYAKO because MJIYAKO was never there.
So look at it like this. The defense is doing well enough because think about it. The state has been going on for 2 years, going on 3 years now. And so much of the truth has already come out through the defense cross-examination where it feels like they've started their case, but they haven't. They haven't even started their case yet. And it's like we feel like we really know that we're winning, but we're losing because of the judge, right? But we really feel like they're winning. So we have to give them that benefit. And also, I wouldn't give Baloy that much credit because think about it like this. How absurd does Baloy look right now that he's not calling the main person that can come and answer all of these crucial questions? He's avoiding that because one of the main questions is who hired you, basically. You said it already. You already asked it. Who hired you? Like, same reason why he won't call Longway, because there's certain crucial questions that these key players will have to come to answer that will collapse this case. And it's you have people that admitted to cleaning the scene. A woman, you don't call her. What is that? You got a person you call him the mastermind. You don't call him. What is that? And you got this guy who says he represented somebody that said that they never met him, and you don't call this person. This is your lead prosecutor. A joke. So I wouldn't give.
Then I totally agree with you. But number one is this: Magistrate Konye. She's the one that's supposed to come and testify. Because when a lawyer is representing somebody, they start by stating their FFC number verbally. I'm MJIYAKO, this is my FFC number, this is my certificate. So there was no way MJIYAKO was going to submit the FFC number that was incorrect. That's for number one.
Are you saying number that you didn't allow him to do that?
No, you cannot. They verify before you start to represent your client. Right. They've got to verify the FFC number. So the question is, the prosecutor never verified. They just take his word on it, and they use evidence that. So the problem is the NPA are at fault.
So that day should be null and void.
They were offered a wrong FFC number, and they went and proceeded using that number. What they can do, they need to check if he had any other clients that he had, which were using that number.
It should all be nullified.
Yes. So you notice that. So which means that all this time he was coming to court with the wrong FS number. That is ridiculous. Right. Because this woman only managed to know because of this case. Because if this case was not being broadcast, I don't think anybody was going to know that this one is stolen the identity of the of that lady.
Fraud. That's right in front of our eyes. Fraud. And it's saying it's typo.
So which means the information that was given by Magistrate Konye, it becomes null and void. Because remember, in that meeting, Ntanzi said, I don't know this lawyer, and I don't want him to represent me. And MJIYAKO never said even a word.
That's right.
And then Ntanzi was cross-examined by, I think, Ramasipil. He asked him, why did you say I don't want to be represented by this guy? He said, I said I do not want him to represent me because he was saying that I should admit that I killed Senzo Meyiwa. And I said, no, how can you represent me? And they're telling me you're my lawyer, that I should go and bury myself in court. Do you understand? So
according to you, sorry, according to you, who was there representing Ntanzi? Because if Njab says MJIYAKO is not gonna lie. Who was there? Who
Yes.
was the guy who was having wrong FCC number, trying to represent Ntanzi in front of Magistrate Kone, even in Boxback? Who
Okay,
was
let me
the
tell
guy?
you one thing. Let me tell you one thing. Miss
Yes.
Synchrone, she said, besides taking the notes, asking Ntanzi questions, she said she recorded the proceedings
Right.
because she was trying
Yeah.
to protect herself. What gave
Yeah.
her the mind that I must record this, I must put this in a recording? She knew exactly that this number was wrong and these guys were cooking. You understand? So in the event, if she's being challenged, she'll say, I've got the recording. This guy, they say he's there, he was not there. I've got the recording to prove it. But you know what Judge Rata said? We cannot accept that evidence because you did not disclose to Ntanzi that you were recording it. Do you understand? So that
Yeah.
because Miss Crony said
No,
explicitly,
hold on. Wait. I'm not
yeah,
gonna stop you. Let me real quick. I hear your point. I think it's the opposite. I don't see Cronia assisting in Tanzi at all. Let me tell you something. If MJIYAKO is on record speaking in court saying anything and she recorded him on her laptop, I think the judge said, "Oh, shit." I think I should throw that out because we don't want record of. First of all, they're not calling him Giaco, right? So then why would we want to have? I'm talking as the judge being for the state. Why would we want to have him Giaco on record here? I'm not gonna include that part of the evidence. So they can have that little win, but guess what? I just omitted Mjiako on the record. What do you think about that?
well, the thing that I think is this. Miss Cronier, she said when these guys, there were guys that were inside the room, the courtroom, the MMPD police officers, and then she told them to go outside. She said their presence was so intimidating, and I
Right.
had to make sure that whatever I do, I record. But
Mm.
the problem that I did record without advising the people that were involved that I was recording them. Do you
Okay.
understand? And she was asked, why did you record? She said, I did this in order to protect myself.
Okay. Yeah, she did say that. Okay.
She said that in court. I
But I think that
recorded it
but
for
two
me to
things can
record.
be
And
true at
then,
the same time. I think the judge threw it out also to assist the state. They didn't want him Jocko on record, but I think you're also true. She probably was defending herself even before she would assist in Tanzi. She was defending herself.
she was protecting
Yes.
herself, knowing that in the event that this thing comes out, you understand? She will say,
Yeah.
I was told to do this, but this is what transpired on that day. And as from what Njab said, Njiago was not there. He was not there.
Who was there? Who was
They
there?
just, remember that there were other 7 police officers that were there. One of them could have just been addressed like a lawyer and say, I'm Njiago. Did she verify? Was she given an ID? Because when you write the information, you write your name, your ID, your practice company, your residence. There is nothing like that she was given. She was just given a letter from LPC that to confirm that this one is a lawyer,
Yeah.
but he never produced his ID. Why should you come with a letter from LPC if you are a qualified attorney? Because he said that if you are a qualified attorney, you are given a card.
Yes.
That is the card that you whenever you appear in court, you produce your card, you give it to the prosecutor, and then the prosecutor gives it to the judge, and he confirms that. But no, this time this guy did not come with the card. He came with a letter from this guy stating that we are confirming that this guy is a lawyer. Why were they confirming that he's a lawyer when he was present? He's supposed to have his documents. He was not there. That guy, he was not there. And I'm telling you the truth. The guy was not there. His name was used.
This is too much.
You understand?
This is too much.
His name was used.
Hello, guys.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm well, thanks. And how are you? Actually, we are in danger here, all of us, because what happens here, it can happen to anybody's son. As it is
That's
now,
very true.
we
That's
cannot
very true.
trust
we cannot trust the NPA. We cannot trust subs. Anything can happen because let us just say, let us be grateful and thank God for Patricia, because if it wasn't Patricia Mashale who actually told us, who actually checked this number and told us this number doesn't belong to MJIYAKO. Do you guys remember?
Yeah.
After how many years? Her podcast was just recently. This thing happened in which year? Why is it only now that is being rectified? Now it goes back to NPA, because we are going to ask, what is your procedure? What are the procedures that are followed when one is giving confession? Do you verify that cronier? Do you verify that particular lawyer? Because if Baloyi did verify, he's supposed to pick it up immediately. It backfires on them. Now we are told about the error system. It's not going to end. It doesn't end here. You see the problem now with the defense. They don't have financial muscles, guys. They don't have, because they are depending on the system. You understand? Because if they were just private lawyers who were paid direct by the client, they will have all the financial muscles and talk to the family and say, bring money. This is ambush.
But my sister, Jabs once said he offered the defense to come and assist. They can only pay him 100 rand, and that offer they didn't take. And I think on other streams on social media, YouTube, there were people who were offering their services for free. So with the defense, somewhere somehow, I don't have that thing of saying it's because they don't have support. People are here, like we are gathered here. We are trying to assist them. There are people who have those qualifications that can help them, and they are willing to assist for free. The question is, are they willing to listen to other people who are saying, as they are saying, can we come and assist you?
All we need now is an IT specialist to prove, because there should be records in the system. Even if this number was changed, the records will remain there.
Yeah. Exactly.
Huh?
And the other thing is, why these guys are making confession twice? Why not once? Why do you have to make confession twice?
But what you need to understand is something that is very simple. These lawyers, they are paid by legal aid. In other words, these lawyers are paid by the state. Do you understand?
That's what I'm saying.
And I think behind the scenes, if they want to put the state under the bus, then they'll be telling them, you don't buy the hand that feeds you. Do you understand?
Yes.
Because if you see with the way Ramasipile, there was a time that Ramasipile was on top of the situation. But when he's about to crack a case, he just doesn't. He just
they tell you, slow down. Don't forget we are paying you.
Don't forget that you are paying you. You know, these guys, they are paid a lot of money. You understand? For this case, I think they're getting paid almost into millions by now of dollars.
Look,
and then that's how they are handicapped. That is why they didn't like Mgomezuru, because Mgomezuru was not under their influence.
Let's just forget about this error system. Let's talk about what is the evidence. Do they find the DNA? It does not say arrest these people. They have not told us why they have not arrested Kelly up until today. Nesi has asked them. Can you tell me what justified you to arrest these people to be here in front of this court today? There's no answer. They're putting up around the bush.
Should they arrest Kelly, this case will be destroyed.
But it's not just
Should
Kelly.
They dare do that? She's going to sing like a canary, and everything is going to be destroyed. And most people are going to lose their job. Yeah. They are not going to go there.
You know, my fear is our
With
young
Kelly, we
growing
just have to
children.
forget.
Yeah. It's the young ones that are growing. That one can just pick you up on the street and say you have committed a crime. This is painful to watch this happening.
But what you need to understand from
And I'm
the
watching
way
from overseas too.
okay, what Japs was saying. Japs was saying that Njanzi was a fall guy. You know, a fall guy. A fall guy is a person that had admitted that if you give me money, I'll admit that I killed Senzo. But within the process of negotiating about that deal, then Njanzi refused. Later turned them down.
He was
That
right.
is
What
why
guarantee?
that is what now that is when they started beating him up. You understand? You had promised us, you had agreed. Because Mjaps was saying, what Gininda was saying, that I was called to come and verify the confession. Do you understand? The confession was already, but I think when they started talking about the monies and how it was supposed to be distributed, you realize that no, I'm accepting an issue here and I'll be buried alive with these guys, and no man will be going to be released to my family once I sign these papers. Because they will say, no, you were guilty in the first place. Why should we give you money? You've admitted on your own. You've given the confession. So when he realized that, that's when he took a step back and he said, no. Because remember, when Njanzi was on the stand, he refused the version that was given by Ngomezulu. He said, I don't know what Ngomezulu said, but I don't agree with that. This is the real version. But when Ngomezulu was putting that version, he never stopped him. You remember,
he never corrected him.
You raise up your hand and you tell him, no, this information is not what
this is not like this.
But he only mentioned it now when it was time for him to be cross-examined. So he was contradicting with the version that he was given, because he realized that if he sticks with that version, somehow you will be caught that it was part of the deal that went wrong. Do you understand? It was part of the deal.
Who are you protecting? Whose child must go to jail? The others must, because they've got money. They cannot go to jail. You see what money can do? Money is a root of all evil.
They are protecting. Oh, they are back. Yeah, sure. Later, guys.
See you later.
Sure. Bye.
Thank you so much, guys. Let's go back. I really appreciate this. Was one of the conversations. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the super thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. And we'll see each other after the break, after they unfold with this thing. Then we will come back and continue with the discussion. Thank you so much. Let's go.